Hi. What are you doing? Stop. All right, I'm just gonna spray him, dude. Watch out.
Yeah, all right.
I'm just gonna spray you. Get out. Get out or you're getting sprayed. Get out or you're getting sprayed.
Bro. Get out for what?
Reach around. You take off in this car, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna make it super easy on you. You put this car in drive, you're getting one whack to the chest. I don't care what you got. I don't care if you got on you. But guess what, bro? Now you got to deal with it. But if you pull some, you're gonna take one to the chest. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't listen, you're done. You understand me? Gardiner, Lawndale unit out 10-6.
8 seconds. 8 seconds after the LA County Sheriff officer there pulled up on this rapper whose name's Feezy LeBron, sitting in his car. In 8 seconds, he pulled out pepper spray, as you see there. Took him another 11 seconds to pull out his gun and threaten him multiple times with putting one in his chest if you take off in this car, which is not running. But it doesn't matter. What he's there is living a lifelong dream of reeling off as many threats to kill someone in front of them as he's always wanted to do. Let's watch him do that.
You gonna comply or no?
Comply what?
If you move your hands from right there, you're in trouble.
So you gonna shoot me? I'm sitting in the damn car, bro.
14809 Crenshaw, Wheat Shop parking lot.
I'm sitting in the damn car.
Move your hands from right there, and you're done.
Sorry, I'm under arrest or what, bro? You got guns.
You are most definitely 1,050% detained. And if you do anything other than what you're doing right now, then you're gonna have some major consequences to deal with.
For what?
I'm gonna make it super simple for you.
For what?
It's already been explained to you.
For what?
Already been explained to you.
So now what do we do? Is this good police work? Snatch out a gun, I'm gonna kill you 4 to 5 to 6 different times because that's fun, that'll get you somewhere. Officers, I think it's Justin Sabatine and Jacob Diaz. Sabatine's the one who's drawing the gun. Apparently Diaz is the one who wanted to snatch him out of his car when he was sitting there minding his own damn business. So they proceeded to go ahead and violate a few more of Feezy LeBron's rights here. Let's watch more.
You gonna comply or no? Because right now you already resisted my partner by ripping your arm away.
Your partner came and opened my damn door by himself.
Step out and comply to him.
Your partner came and opened my damn door.
You on probation or parole or what? All right. I know, but I don't need the consent. Thank you.
I don't need any consent to search your car. I'm just gonna search it. After walking up and snatching your door open based off of absolutely nothing. Also, by the way, you notice that question he asked him as they're cuffing him? Are you on probation, parole, or what? Sounds like an assumption to me. Not, is there anything going on? What's happening? By the way, you shouldn't have to ask those questions either because he wasn't doing anything. But there's the assumption of probation and parole. Why is that, you might wonder? There's more though, because he revealed a few more of his biases afterwards when he takes him into the car.
Is your ID on you or no? Or is it in your car? Where's it? I know you said it 50 times, dude, I get it. Unfortunately for you, you shouldn't smoke so much weed in your car and then we wouldn't have to search it.
I didn't smoke no weed in my car. I have weed in my car. I didn't smoke no weed in my car. It's not legal.
Do you have like anger issues or what?
The cop who rolled up, pulled out a pepper spray in 8 seconds and then a gun 11 seconds later, then took several minutes to go ahead and threaten this guy's life over and over and over again with a gun drawn on him, says you must have some anger issues. Because he said, I'm not smoking weed in my car. I don't smoke weed in my car. I don't have weed in my car because number 2, it's legal to have it. By the way, this parking lot is surrounded by 2 different dispensaries. We're starting to see this equation running through Sabatine's head as to what he thought was going on. This guy's smoking weed in his car, but he's gonna continue to go through this whole process to try and hem him up because he thinks that's good police work. Here's a few more details from the rapper's point of view. According to Feezy, deputies Justin Sabatine and Jacob Ruiz interrupted the live stream he was doing by yanking open his car door, grabbing his arm, pointing a gun at him as we saw, and threatening to shoot him in the chest. All without explaining why they were in his face in the first place. He had seen them moving in his direction, is what he said. But because he was in a private business parking lot at a friend's shop with his car turned off, it still caught him by surprise to look up from his phone and find them at his window. Reporting about this from Streets Blog LA, Sarah Sulaiman wrote this. It's a really good piece, one of the more independent outlets there, and it really broke down everything that was happening. First, a few of your thoughts on this, Trey, because there's so much more. You guys should listen because there's so much more that happened after this.
Yeah, I always wondered because the dude wasn't doing literally anything. Like, so if he's just sitting there, like what prompted it other than just his existence, like it makes me wonder if they're driving around and do they get like bored or something? And they're like, okay, next black guy we see with his hood up, we're going to give him the business because it's, it's Saturday and nothing else is going on. Like, it's just, I don't know how they decide to just ruin somebody's day and week and sometimes a whole life out of nowhere when they're not doing anything to prompt a law enforcement response in the first place. But then also like the way they talk always gets me. It's like that part where he's like, he says something like, I'm gonna give it to you straight, bro. If you move, you're taking one right in the chest or something. It's like movie dialogue. You know what I mean? It's like out of an action movie or something. It's not the way that a law enforcement professional should talk in my mind, but yet they all seem to have that sort of like, I don't know, machismo or bravado or whatever. Like they all think they're heroes in their own action movie and whatnot. And it's all very typical, but still very upsetting.
And then they circle the wagons and go through the entire process of acting like this is normal. It's become normalized to be that way. If Officer Diaz, who was there, who couldn't get him out of his car because he probably shouldn't have been in the first place, seemed a little more passive, this is him learning the tricks of the trade. If that's the situation, I'm not gonna have any thoughts about what Diaz normally does or not, but in that particular situation, it seemed like he didn't know what to do. So Sabatine came up and told him, this is how police work is done. And if you don't think he was paying attention, you're lying to yourself. There's a reason why this happens so much. So a little bit more. Because he said they ripped his car apart. This is what the rapper said, Feezy LeBron said. They ripped his car apart looking for anything to justify their aggression. Here's those details. There was nothing for them to find. He says, I have my license. I have my registration. I have my insurance. I have everything I need to have. I wasn't sitting there smoking weed. I didn't have any of that going on. Imagine if some 57-year-old white guy in an Escalade gets a door snatched open and guns drawn on him and pepper spray threatened at him, and they said, why are you smoking all this weed in your car? By the way, 51-year-old white guys smoke weed. In case you guys didn't know that. But imagine if that happened. Would he have to say, I have my license, I have my registration, I have my insurance? Does he have to explain that he has that stuff for you to believe it, that he is on the up and up as he drives in his damn Mercedes? Anyway, let's continue on, because I'm just pointing out how ridiculous this is. And anybody who thinks this is normal, flip the script and think if you would still think it's normal if it happened to someone else that didn't look like this guy. More though. Finally, after rifling through all of his things, Feezy says the deputies spotted a fix-it ticket he had gotten for a missing front license plate. They gave him another ticket for the missing plate and then let him go. Why would they let someone go that's been smoking weed in his car constantly over and over and over again the way that they accused him of? Maybe because he wasn't smoking weed in his car and he wasn't holding open joints and lighting them up there either. Maybe that's why, and they figured they had to let him go. But Feezy did not want to let it go. This is the worst part about this whole thing. Later that night, New Year's Eve is when this happened. He goes into the police station to file a report. He said he didn't really want to. He has his kid at home. He's shaken up. He's been having trouble sleeping, but he said, I have to do this. This is what happened. He was buzzed into the lobby around 8 o'clock at night, but help was not forthcoming. Deputies either said they couldn't help or claimed that the delay was due to a shift change. He says he was left alone in the empty waiting area for 45 minutes at a time before being told to wait again for help that did not come. This is to file a complaint. I feel like they were definitely trying to intimidate me to not file the report. And they definitely did everything in their power to make it uncomfortable. Like when Justin Sabatine, the same deputy who had threatened to shoot him, came out at the police station to greet him. Feezy said he wanted nothing to do with him and he asked to speak to the watch commander instead. But Sabatine did not want him to file a complaint. He told Feezy that the stop, after he pulled his gun on him in the same night, and by extension, Feezy having weapons pointed in his face and being snatched out of his car without explanation, was lawful. The missing front plate citation proved it, is what that cop said. I'm just letting you know that your complaint is unfounded, said Sabatine. Then he laughed. It was funny, he told Feezy, because the whole encounter on Crenshaw had been recorded on body-worn video. He said, quote, to protect us from people like you. What type of person is Feezy LeBron? Let's look at a picture of Sabatine in that station. This is the picture that Feezy took as he's walking back to the back area with other countless officers that are doing nothing to help him with filing his complaint. You know, that tax-paying citizen that you're pointing at and disrespecting, pointing guns at and saying you're gonna pepper spray in their face. I come in to file a complaint. You say, get the hell out of here. I wore a body cam to protect myself from people like you. This is what that piece of garbage was saying. So in other words, nothing's gonna be done about this whole thing. Last thoughts on this, Trey?
Yeah, that also the way they always gaslight people and acting like they're doing something wrong. You know, the whole we wear these for protection for people like you. And when he had the gun pulled on him, and he was saying, you know, whatever, just comply and it'll be all right. But he's not even giving him clear directions and that type of thing. They always sort of have this subtext of like, why are you making me do this to you? You know, that sort of thing is also infuriating. And then they finally found the missing front plate, you know, because they had to have something. But it's like, to me, with the footage and the context that exists surrounding this particular interaction, to then say like, well, yeah, but see, he didn't have a front license plate, so that's why we had to do all that, doesn't really change or help anything from my perspective. I know they just got to have some sort of legal thing to pin the stop on or whatever, but it's like, if you're doing all that for a missing front plate, then, you know, what happens with a DUI? You just go straight to open fire or what?
Well, they do that as well. By the way, the missing front plate, did you notice it being mentioned at all during that entire video of their body cam footage? Hey, maybe they only released the 4 to 5 minutes of it, and there's actually so much more. Because by the way, they held him there for hours, or an hour or so, just over an hour, searching and tearing apart his car and find absolutely nothing. So they, of course, had to let him go. That's how these things work. One more thing, because Sheriff Luna released a statement and he said he's gonna do this, which isn't gonna be much. The LA County Sheriff's Department has opened an investigation into this incident. While the department does not make statements related to ongoing investigations, Sheriff Luna has made it clear that he expects the department personnel to treat all members of the public with dignity and respect, and that personnel who do not uphold our training standards will be held accountable. 25% of the time they do actually hold them accountable, so we'll see. But I'm not holding my breath.